Hi, this is Billy from Kwikgames.com, and this is a strategy guide for one of our most popular games recently. It's Crush the Castle from Armour Games. It's a fantastic little game, very, very simple as most games are, but it's been catching a few people out. There's certain levels, especially for some reason level 18, seems to be catching a few people out, and we've had a few emails asking for a strategy guide, so here it is, and we're going to just run through all 24 levels very, very quickly and give you some tips and some pointers on how to play the game in general and some specific tactics for beating certain levels. Now, these early levels are pretty simple, and you really just want to use these to get a hang of the control system. So I'm not going to give you any specifics for these early ones. I'm just going to give you an overview of the game, how to control it, and some general tactics. And then from probably about level 13 or 14 onwards, then I'll start giving you some tips on how to beat individual levels. Now, as I said, the game is very, very simple, as most games are. The idea isn't to crush the castle, as the name of the game suggests, actually. That's a bit of a misnomer. To beat each level, rather than trying to destroy the castle itself, you want to concentrate on hitting each of the individual occupants, the characters in the castle, either directly with your ammo, by throwing a stone or a bomb at them, or by knocking a piece of the castle or another occupant, another person, into them. That will show up as a little red splat, as you can see there, and that means that that particular occupant has been knocked out for the level. Knock out each one, and you win the level. It's pretty simple. Now, you start the game with only one type of ammo. You can see there we're on to 3 small stones now. We started just with one, and as you progress through the game, you'll start getting different pieces of ammunition. So as each level comes along, the first thing you want to do is choose the ammo that you're going to use. Now, normally that's going to be the most recently unlocked ammunition. You know, start with small stones, progress through multiple stones, larger stones, and onto bombs. But occasionally they give you a bit of a red herring. One level in particular, level 13, you'll see in a minute, they give you a big bomb, but it's very difficult to win the level with that one. You actually want to go back and use some simpler, earlier ammunition. So once you've chosen the ammo you want to use, very, very simple to play the game. Click anywhere on the screen once to release to set the trebuchet in motion. Okay, and then you click once more to release the ammo. So this game is all about timing. It's the timing of when you release that ammo that sets the trajectory of your ammunition and whether or not you're going to hit your target and how you're going to hit it. So if you release very, very early, you'll get a high trajectory. The stones or the ammunition will fly right up off the top of the screen and come back down almost vertically onto the castle, which is great for getting over walls and for hitting things further towards the back. Alternatively, or the opposite of that, is you can release late, and that will give you a very flat trajectory, a bit more like that, where you're going to hit the castle from the side, or even roll the ammunition down along the ground, which can be useful for using bombs on some of the later levels. Okay, so we're up to castle number 10 now, coming up for halfway through, and we're still on mostly the fairly simple castles at the moment. You can see now we've just unlocked 3 large stones, which is quite a powerful piece of ammunition. I'll throw 3 medium stones and 1 hit on that one. You get 5 attempts or 5 shots at each castle. Many of them, with a bit of practice, you'll be able to do in one shot if you carefully choose your shot and your ammunition. And 1 shot should do this one. There we go. And in fact, some of a lot of the fun from the game can be going back and trying to perfect each level. There's only 24 levels on the game, which hopefully Armour Games are going to be bringing out a sequel to this, because it's a popular game, and another 20 or 30 harder levels would certainly be very welcome. Okay, Castle 13. Here we go. On this level we've unlocked large stones, but as I said before, winning this level with large stones is very, very tricky. So the best tactic is to switch to 3 small stones, and our idea, just gone over slightly there, the idea is to try and drop these stones down into that hole where a large stone won't fit, there we go, and land on the queen to beat the level. So you can see on that one we didn't touch the castle, we haven't damaged the castle at all, but we've completed the level. Okay, this is another one with a bit of a tactic. You can see there that the castle's set up almost as a seesaw, with the spikes to the right for the king to fall into. So what we want to do is throw these stones. Let's just try 3, should do the trick. To try 1 more. If we get them onto this ledge, all 3 would have done it, look, and the king falls off, the seesaw goes, and we complete the level. Okay, level 15. You can see there's a weak point at the bottom of the left-hand wall there. So a fairly flat trajectory, which means we want a little bit too high, slightly lower next time. There we go. So we release the trebuchet quite late for a nice flat trajectory. You can actually roll the ammunition along the ground, or just bounce it from just before the wall on this one. Okay, this is a fairly simple level, and it just takes a good. We've got the 3 large stones now. 1 or 2 good. Oh, way too early. You can see my example of rolling the stones along the floor. Okay, so 1 or 2 good shots should do this one. That looks like it could be a one-shotter. There we go. Level 17. Getting towards some of the more tricky levels now. Now reaching those, the king and queen on the right there, it's a bit easier if you change down to a smaller stone. See, that wasn't far enough as well. I'm going to try the smaller stones. 3 small stones. Fire straight to the back. Yeah, and one's bounced across. Hopefully that'll catch both of them. There we go, end of the level. Oh, there's one more guy on the left-hand side actually. Just one flat trajectory should get him. And it finished. And in fact, one of those large stones bounced across as well. Level 18. For some reason, we've had more emails about this than all the others put together. It's that bottom king on the right there that gets sometimes trapped. You can actually prevent yourself from completing this level by knocking scenery sort of over the top of him. There we go, we've got him. And the scenery protects him so much that it's almost impossible to get through. And we've got bombs open now. It's an easy level. That was a bit too high. You don't want to try and hit the bombs at the top of the castle because they tend to sort of, if the force bounces off, you want to try and hit the walls on the side. That was too low. So that the force of the bomb actually topples the castle over. The castles tend to be quite strong top to bottom, but if you hit them on the side, and that tends to be a weakness in many of them. Castle 20. Okay, now this one looks, to all intents and purposes, like you'll be able to topple it from the bottom. But if you have a look at this, bang, absolutely not a dent. You can fire as many bombs as you want down the bottom there. It's not going to help. Okay, so what we do, I'm going to change to using rocks and just fire them square at the side of the castle. Should do the trick. 1 or 2 hits. Oh, looks like it's going to be 1. There we go. As I said, five bombs down the bottom wouldn't have made a dent, but 1 good strong hit with the stones on the side, and it's not a problem. This is another level where, if you're unfortunate, you can knock girders and walls over the top of those queens at the bottom, and that tends to protect them, and it makes it quite tricky to finish the level. You can see that, that one on the right's just starting to topple. This one should take her out, and 1 more maybe to the left. Is that going to fall? Yes, it is. There we go, the end of the level. Okay, Castle 22. Not many to go now. And I think we get big bombs. No, yep, big bombs. Here we go. Okay, that took out the front of the castle. Hopefully it's toppled that wall as well, so we can get over the top. Not quite. We can get over the top anyway. Let's try 1 more. And there we go. Castle 22 complete. 2 to go. When we've completed all 24, we actually open up a level editor, so we can have a lot of fun. Now this is a tricky level. What I'm going to do here is fire several volleys off in one go to try and knock this top wall down, and then catch the right hand side. There we go. So it's worth noting sometimes it's... Is that going to fall? Yep, keep going. All the way, fantastic. You don't have to wait for your ammunition to hit before firing the next one. Sometimes it's worth firing several volleys in a row, and you can catch the castle while it's still wobbling from the last shot. And this is the last castle. It's quite strong, but if you try and take out 1 level at a time starting at the top, it shouldn't pose too many difficulties. Oh, 2 hits. Have we done it in 2? Is it going to need 1 more? There we go. So there we go. That's how to beat all 24 levels of Crush the Castle and open up the level editor. So hope you have fun with that. Thanks for listening. If you've got any tips or tactics of your own, please leave a comment below and come and visit us again at Kwikgames.com.